So, welcome to our first Jazzahead virtual session, which is dedicated to BEL JAZZ FEST, which happened end of May this year. For the first time, all three regions of Belgium and all Flemish and French-speaking parts joined forces. We will let you know how to organize this online festival. Let me first of all introduce our guests. We are connected today with Danny Theuwis. He is responsible for music programming and literature at Leuven Jazz Festival. There he is the head of, and for some other festivals, for the BEL JAZZ FEST Leuven and for 30cc, the Cultural Center of Leuven. As mentioned, he is the initiator of the BEL JAZZ FEST. And then we have Maarten van Roussel from the Brussels Jazz Festival, and Flagey, which is a cultural house located in Brussels and which was the venue where the festival happened. He is the artistic planning manager and jazz coordinator there. And then we have Paméla Malempré from Aubergine Artist Management, also situated in Brussels, and responsible for booking, production, press, and communication. And this agency presented 5 bands in the final lineup of the BEL JAZZ FEST. So before we start our virtual session, we will do a little poll just to know, because we want to know who of our viewers have seen any of the BEL JAZZ concerts in May. And the poll is coming up to your computer right now. You should see it on the screen. And we ask you just to click if yes or no you have seen some of the concerts. We will have a result, and normally in a few moments, once everybody has clicked yes or no, we will have a result that you can see. We are waiting a little bit because there are more there are more viewers coming in. Okay, this is the poll has ended now, and this is the result. So, well, 2/3 of our viewers today haven't seen any of the concerts. So, is there a possibility to see any of these concerts afterwards? This is one little question to my guests here. Is there still a possibility to see something of the?
I know that the French part, WBI, has an online, on YouTube, they have a channel and all the videos are there. I guess Vibe did the same. I didn't check for Vibe. Do you know, guys, if Vibe did?
No, for the moment it's only Wallonie Bruxelles. So it's the French-speaking bands which are on YouTube. Your microphone, Paméla.
So it's half of the concert for now,
yep.
And I can send the link if you want. I can find it now and send it.
Okay, so for all our viewers, what we will do is we will try to find out if there is a possibility to view these concerts by what on a website or by any other means, and we will let you know.
You can just go to YouTube, and if you type BEL JAZZ FEST, you will find a list of all videos recorded.
That is perfect. That helps everybody. Okay. We have prepared a fact sheet about BEL JAZZ, and it is possible by link in our chat to get to this fact sheet. So you can do this also with the chat you find below to all speakers. So for everybody, just to get some info, some crucial info, you can just click on the link. And you have also the possibility to ask questions. If you have questions, please write them to the panelist named questions. We will collect your questions, and there will be time at the end of the session to give answers to them. Okay? So let us start with our session. The initiative for BEL JAZZ Fest came from Danny Theuwis. The Leuven-based jazz festival was the first one cancelled after the lockdown in March. Danny, can you tell us how and when it came to this initiative, and also give us a brief description of the structure of BEL JAZZ Fest?
Yeah, well, as you said, we were the first festival that was cancelled. But I think the lockdown here started around 13th of March, and our festival normally starts at the 19th. So we knew pretty soon, very soon even, that all our concerts were cancelled. And then we've seen also that, yeah, a bit further in the period, it was Tournai Jazz Festival and also Jazz à Liège was cancelled. So I had the idea, I will check with these festivals and all other partner festivals, which I know, when sometimes we work together also on a regular basis, and we meet each other for Belgium Jazz Fest and BEL JAZZ meeting. So I sent a mail, I think in April, to check out with different kind of festivals spread around in the country, because it was not only the Flemish part festivals, but also the French-speaking festivals like Dinant, Jazz à Liège. So it was an idea to send a mail, and then I contacted immediately, I think, around 10 festivals, and they responded quickly, positively, with enthusiasm, because we knew pretty soon that also the summer would be difficult, and even now it's still difficult. So I think it was the perfect timing to check out if we can organize it. And then, yeah, after a few weeks, we were in a meeting like this one, and then we discussed the setup for this festival, which wasn't easy in the beginning, of course. And then the structure, yeah, we discussed also, because we had so many ideas to how to organize it, but we came to a two-day festival, around 24 concerts with bands only from Belgium, spread around on 2 virtual stages. And then, yeah, we were also discussing in the beginning where we should organize it. So also after a few discussions, we came to the idea to do it in one location in Brussels, which was central in the central of our country, of course, which was more easy for the bands also to come over. And production-wise, it was the best house to organize it. And there we organized live concerts, a few and then also pre-recorded ones, because, yeah, with all the difficulties around Corona and how to organize it, we have done that in this way. So, and at the end, it was we were 11 festivals that were selected from all the different regions in Belgium, big and small, yeah. More days festival to also a weekend festival. So it was good spread around in the country. So everyone could participate from different parts of Belgium.
Okay, so it was a personal initiative, first of all.
Yes.
And you, with your own contacts, you have contacted some of the festivals. So, but how have you decided which festival were contacted and chosen to take part? Has this anything to do with their programming, their normal programming?
Yeah, also, but yeah, I've seen when you see the calendar in Belgium, which festivals are going on during the year, and then I've seen in which period, and then it was pretty easy to contact them then that way. Also, we have a lot of personal contacts, of course. We meet each other more than once. So it was pretty easy to organize it. Of course, there are other festivals not participating, that's true. But yeah, this was also the first drop. So we didn't know if we could continue to organize it or how it works in real time. But at the end, we closed it because otherwise it should have been too big, I guess.
Yeah, okay, because your preparation time was pretty short, as you have mentioned.
Yes.
And but 11 festivals in the end. How did it come to a consensus on artistic decisions? We know this is normally something that is very important for all programmers and responsible festival artistic directors.
Yes.
So.
But well, yeah, of course, we couldn't organize an international live festival virtually. So we were obliged, and it was a good thing also to present Belgian bands. We have a lot of very good Belgian bands, and it was a perfect way to do it. But then also we see, which festival asks which band. So we have prepared a long list. Every festival has put some names in this long list. Of course, for my part, I've asked some bands that normally should play in March in our festival. So I've picked up there 3 bands from our own festival, and a few other festivals have done the same thing. So sometimes there was one band on more than one long list from the festivals, and then we bring everything together, and then we've chosen from the long list we made a short list. It wasn't that difficult. We let also all festivals free in the choice. We discussed sometimes, but what we've seen very soon that we've invited pretty much young bands. Also, we were obliged to not invite our larger big bands. Of course, it wasn't. We weren't capable to do that in these times, and also some individual solo acts. So we had different kind of setups, which was very good to show how our scene was in this time. So.
Okay, so when you say we made a long list, this means all the 11 festivals. And yes. When you say we decided, this means you decided all together, or was there a smaller?
No, all our artistic directors or head of programmation decided it. Yes, and we've concluded all pretty early also that not to invite the big names, so not to sell out with maybe one big name, but to invite mainly up and coming scene from both parts of the country, and I think we succeeded there. Very good.
Okay, thank you for this first impression from your side. Coming now to the venue, 11 festivals, but only one venue. Maarten, please tell us how it came to the decision that Flagey was the venue for this online festival. What was your part and contribution to this new jazz fest?
Well, like Danny just told us, that's in fact basically between the first email of Danny and the first concert, there was exactly 1 month or 4 weeks. And so the first 2 weeks, we were mainly deciding on how we are going to do it, where we're going to do it, which format, which band. That was 2 weeks of discussion, and then we had 2 weeks of really production. And so during these discussions, the initial idea was that every festival would make a mini program, 2 or 3 bands, and would stream the concerts from their own venue or their own place. But that meant that we had like 11 different streamings from 11 different cities in Belgium. And that came technically and production-wise, it was quite a difficult enterprise. So to simple things a little bit, to keep it more simple, we then decided to do it in one venue. It was logistically and productionally much easier. And since not, well, I think Flagey is one of the few festivals which also really has its own venue. The Brussels Jazz Festival is done at Flagey. And so very quickly we decided then, well, maybe it's a good idea to do it in Brussels. And that was also the second argument because it's the capital. And the idea was to really create a Belgium jazz festival. So with festivals of the north, the south, and the middle of the country. So there were more than one reason to do it at our place. And then once we decided that, we took the lead to really organize it on a productional level.
Okay, Flagey is, as I mentioned, a culture house located in the former National Radio House in Brussels, right?
Yes, like a bit where you are sitting, but in Brussels.
Okay, and it's
you're
when
also
we go on
in the radio house, no?
In a radio house, okay. And
Yeah.
when we go to your website, we see that you are inviting some of the world's most prominent artists normally, but that you still insist on offering opportunities to younger Belgian talents. So it's quite natural, perhaps, also to use Flagey as a good venue for this festival, right?
Well, it was quite natural for the group to do it here. Of course, we have a series which is called Best of Belgian Jazz, where we present monthly a couple of Belgian bands. But it's also because we're fortunate that the Belgian scene is so thriving for the moment. There are so many good bands coming from Belgium, so it wasn't a problem either to really make an interesting lineup because so many good bands are playing for the moment here. And just because you said that the lineup and the programming is always a big discussion, we left the choice. In fact, every festival could choose 2 or 3 bands. We did discuss the long list together, of course, but there was also a little bit of freedom from every festival. So every festival could also put a little bit of its DNA on a programming level in the general lineup of Belgium.
Okay. Another question to you, Maarten. Was this festival meant for the broad public or more as a professional showcase festival?
Well, it was in the first place, it was meant for the broad audience. I mean, all those festivals got cancelled on a very short notice. So we really wanted to do something for the audience, for the public at home. But while we were organizing it and doing it, and we also says like, well, this is really becoming sort of a showcase festival of the Belgian bands. So we also decided to contact our professional colleagues from abroad, so that they also could have a look on what was happening or what is happening on the Belgian scene for the moment. But in the first place, it was really for the broad audiences.
Okay. So this was also a big risk for the festivals because you were in the middle of a lockdown, and for the so it was not usual to follow festivals online. This was something very new, so it was a little bit taking a risk also from the festival side. And also from your side, because I've asked you what was your contribution to that festival? Offering the venue or?
Well, yes, sorry. If you look at it on a financial level, so of course Flagey offered the venue, and we decided with a group of 11 organizers that there was a common budget which was there to cover all the cash out costs, like the video crew, the streaming service, all those practical things. That was covered by every festival, by the entire group, I mean, by the collectivity. And then each festival, as an identity, they took the fees of 2 or 3 bands. That was for each festival apart. And then, yeah, so that was the financial structure. And of course, we didn't know if that would be financially, if it was going to work, if we would have a break even or not. But eventually, it worked out. So there was a break even. But yeah, that was the risk which was taken by the collective of the Leuven festival teams.
Mm-hmm. I'm coming back to all these financial questions a little bit later. What about the timeline of the production? You have mentioned that everything was pretty much started end of April and the festival was end of May. Can you just come back a little bit to this short production time, because it seems quite heavy, only doing all this in only 4 weeks.
Is it for me or for Danny, or?
Yes, from Maarten, for you.
Okay.
Because production-wise, I think it's.
Yeah. Well, I looked it up. The first email that Danny sent was on the 25th of April. And the first meeting, online meeting, it was also a Zoom meeting like this, that we did was on the 30th of April, so the last day of the month. And well, that was really the beginning. Like, we were in Zoom meetings, trying to figure out who is participating, which formats should this festival get, because first, like I just told you, we thought that we would do it over the entire territory of Belgium, and then we decided we'll do it in just one venue. Then we also had discussions about the lineup, of course. And a very important thing was still that we were in a lockdown at that time. And there was just around that period, the first releases of the strict measurements were allowed. So, but we weren't sure if we could legally organize this thing. So after 2 weeks, there was economic activities were allowed again, but it wasn't clear if bands play, when bands are performing, if that was considered as an economic activity. And then we got the letter of the minister, in which she really specified that playing a concert, or no, rehearsing and recording as a band without an audience is also considered as an economic activity. And that was for us really like, okay, this is a green light, we can go through with it. And that was after 2 weeks. So that was, I think, the 15th of May. That's when we really got the green light. And then we still had 2 weeks of really starting to organize it on a productional level. And yeah, it was really like a 24/7 marathon that we did. But in the end, it all worked out. So.
Okay.
And then also maybe, yeah, it was a rush, but also maybe we put the tickets on sale only a week and a half before the concert took place. So 10 days, I think, before the actual kickoff of the festival. Because also on a communication and promo level, it was all, in fact, we really started to work on it as a production and a promo level the last 2 weeks of May.
Okay, that is a good point, Danny. Can you let us know how marketing and PR was conceived and done? Who was responsible for that? An agency, or was it a common task for all festivals and all participants?
Well, immediately when I launched the ID, I also put Stiletto, which is an agency driven by Inge de Pauw. She does a lot of good marketing job. She works for Leuven Jazz Festival and also for Jazz Liège, I know. So I immediately put her also in the list, in the mailing list. And also another guy who's more working on production level for the big festivals as Ghent and Jazz Middelheim. So they were already connected from the beginning. And I know Inge does a great job how to press and to marketing wise. So she was on board with the idea. So she taught already from the beginning how to do it. And then, as Maarten said, after 2 weeks discussion, artistically wise, yeah, we need to discuss also how to put it in place to buy a ticket and how to put it in place for to have contacts with the press. So there she worked a lot of, on this one, and then also from different festivals like Brand Festival in Mechelen. There also was one person in charge of the marketing and the promotion there. He also worked for our festival then, and then also for Roussel also. So different people from different festivals also worked together. And after 2 weeks, they were joined also in our Zoom meetings, to discuss all the marketing strategies.
Okay, so
once artistically it was in place, then we need to work on the marketing, of course.
So, but there was a central place where these, let's say, the content for marketing was decided, and then it was distributed by all of you, or?
There was a few people worked, in back office then to have contacts with all their different press and promo, and then
okay.
Also Vibe, as Vibe is also a structure in Flanders. You have the French part with the WBM, and you have the Vibe, which for the Flemish part. Also there, they did a good job to do some marketing efforts, to make some videos, also to prepare the festival, to make promotion with artists, to make promotion for the festival with some artists like Lefto and Philippe Catherine. So that was organized by Vibe, and so that was in 2 weeks' time we did it. We did this one. So.
Okay, so I suppose there's a marketing PR campaign nationally. It worked quite well. How did you manage to get the word spread internationally? By them also, by these people, or? By
there's also Jazz Lab is also partner of this of our festival and of BEL JAZZ FEST, and I'm also part of EGN. So we immediately also contacted through the mailing list to invite professionals to see the festival online. So that we started also in that period of time.
So to resume this a little bit, it was quite easy to get the word spread nationally and internationally, perhaps also because of the lockdown, because they were perhaps happy to...
Well, because we work in the different parts of Belgium. We have the French part and then the Flemish part, and so from different places in Belgium, we had a lot of interest. The French part newspapers, they do a lot of jazz promotion with the newspapers, the magazines, also the national broadcast television. So this was a unique place and a unique festival, because we were united we jazz. Different festivals work together. It was never done before. So and it was a perfect timing, end of May. So I think everything came together to organize it on this level, with the different festivals together.
So okay, this leads me to Paméla. Have you been involved in this marketing and PR campaign as an agency as well? What was your part in this?
Not directly, but of course, since we had 5 bands playing at the festival, we did promotion as an agency to support our artists and to support the festival. And I was in touch with Inge to talk about promotional tools, as we usually do actually for concerts and festival. So yeah, we did our part, but I think the agency, Inge, she did for the whole thing. She was really the one working on it, of course.
Okay, so short period of production, short period of time for everything, and then a successful marketing and PR campaign. Okay, I'm coming back to Paméla a little bit later.
I'm not sure if we can do it again. So.
Okay. I think we're going in now some crucial questions concerning the financial structures. As it is, I think, for our viewers, important to know how big the financial impact was. First of all, there have been ticket sales. You have mentioned them. Danny, can you tell us how many tickets were sold, by what means, and to whom tickets were have been offered?
Yeah,
And also perhaps, yes, go on.
Yeah, we sold for around 3,200 tickets. It was €15 tickets. So for the whole festival, for the two-day festival. So also, if you didn't join it on Friday, you could join on Saturday and you also pay €15. There was already a platform existing, used by again Jazz Festival and Jazz Middelheim, jazz.be. And then we use this platform to organize this festival, virtual festival, so it makes it more easy also to organize it from the beginning. And all the different participating festivals were linked to this site. And we sold, as I said, 3,200 in only 10 days. So it was a short time, but yeah, with all the marketing and all the promotion, we succeeded, luckily. And on top of that, there was also a donate button, so that people could also offer some more money or to spend more money to donate for on this festival. So this came above the ticket sale.
Yes, please tell me the donate button, this extra money, how much of the generated income was it in the end?
I think it was 1/4, or I think around that.
It was 20%.
Of the total income?
Yep.
So it worked?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, who else was financially participating to set up this virtual festival? And can you please also tell us if money-wise or financially speaking, was it a success?
Yes, at the end it was a success because we had more income than money spent. Luckily, of course, each festival spent some money to pay the band, so that was covered by the festivals. So, and we didn't. It was not we didn't have to get some money back to recover this money. But the production cost was pretty high, yeah, of course. The technical stuff. Also cleaning. You need to pay the cleaning because between every concert you had to do some cleaning. And then the video production and also the streaming. That was a high cost, and we needed to. It has to be top level, so to be sure also that works perfectly. So I think we used more than 35,000 euros, I guess, around that one, spent out for production. I think as income around 50, I guess it was like that, to get back. So.
Okay. The musicians were paid.
Yeah.
Musicians, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and the good. Sorry. I was about to say that the good part of it also is that every musicians received the same amount of money. So it was an amount per musician, which was really well received, actually.
That is understandable. What about I'm coming back to the musicians later, to Paméla, but just to end up, was there some public funding in this festival?
Yeah, WBM, it's one of the Brussels. It's less vibe in the Flemish part. It's also exists in French part, and they supported the French part bands by buying the videos, so they can use it also as promotion for the bands and also to use promotion for export. That was also an idea by Gome Jazz Festival, which participated in this festival. And then Vibe and Jazz Lab also they used all their knowledge to put the knowledge together, like legal advice, promotional support. So it was not in money wise, but it came back. So they worked for us during this festival. So, and as
Vibe was also supporting the promo. Huh? They made the video clips as a promo on social media. That was also support from the Flemish part.
Yes.
Go on.
And which one? And there was what the backline, of course, because that was important also. And normally you have to hire a lot of stuff. This was also sponsored by Kik. So it's a backline agency.
It's a backliner.
Yeah. So they sponsored as
so
well.
a big solidarity.
Yes.
Paméla, let's come to some questions. From an artistic point of view or a management point of view, I have learned you have not charged your BEL JAZZ for an agent's fee. So this was also your participation. What were your intentions and expectations by participating at BEL JAZZ Fest? Was it worth doing so?
Sure. Our expectations. So first, of course, knowing how many great festivals were involved into this and knowing that it would happen in Flagey, we knew that it would be great conditions. And since we didn't have any concerts for 2 months and a half, except playing at home for the musicians, you know, with the camera of the computer and a bad mic, it was already big to play in normal, good conditions. And we were not deceived at all. It was great. And our expectations, just playing, I think, at first for the musicians and to exist again, you know, because our work is to do concerts, is to put the music out. And we couldn't do this for months. And so it was a relief to get to work again and to have the opportunity to share the music that we make. I say we, I'm not a musician, but the artist I represent. So to us, that was already great per se. And then, of course, knowing that our export bureau were working together to help us with the videos afterwards to spread it abroad. We were really happy to be able to use this as a promotional tool, not only during the festival, but afterwards. And they did a good work with BM and Vibe. We had some videos that were used in jazz festivals. Some were spread even in Africa and in Germany, thanks to a collaboration with Factory 92. It's a PR agency over there. So it was more than just a festival. It has a lot of we were so very happy to get back to work and in such good conditions, I must say. Yeah.
And talking about the artists, what was their feedback after their concert at the festival?
They were more than happy, of course. They were really glad. Really the quality of the welcoming, of the video, of the sound, everything was really perfect. And that's, you know, after months playing in bad conditions in your saloon or not playing at all, we were really happy to see that people were ready to pay for music, because we were offering music for free. Like the artists, to keep existing on the social medias, they had to do music, they had to show their face, or they would, you know, it's such a hard, it's really difficult to build a career, and you cannot just disappear because there is no concert anymore. So they try to say that they were still existing, but then we were a bit afraid that an online festival where people had to pay wouldn't work, because they got used maybe to the online free concerts offered by the artists. But hopefully people see and know and recognize the quality. And so when we offer quality, they are still willing to pay for this. So that was also, I think, for the artists, a relief.
Okay.
And I think also because it was the first time that we could offer a real stage again for the artists in a beautiful venue as Flagey is. So even it was online, but they could play on a real stage with real lighting and a good production team and technically perfectly. So I think for the artists it was the first time that they could play in a band. Not for audience, of course, not for real audience, because it was sometimes awkward when in between numbers or songs, it was sometimes awkward,
Yeah.
but everything was well organized, so that was the main thing. So, and there we succeeded also.
Yeah, and of course it's true. And for the artist, it was not easy to give energy out without receiving any energy from the audience. So for that, of course, it's better to have a real public in front of you. You cannot replace it, but well, that was the way it was.
It was the first little lights at the end of the tunnel. Huh?
Exactly.
I mean, nothing was happening, and that was really the first thing that was reboosting this entire ecosystem, which was from one day until another was completely dead all of a sudden. So I think in that way, everybody was quite happy that this was happening.
Yeah, and the bands, you had a large variety of music, because jazz is big, and you could really discover musics that were so different one from the other, and for that the lineup was really great. So
it was also the first time we could have a drink with our colleagues and with the musicians. So.
That is really important. There's something else you have mentioned that was important. You were talking about a video. This was certainly part of the outcome also for the artist.
sure.
Paméla, can you just tell me a little bit, or tell us a little bit more about this video they got?
So yeah, after the show, we could collect the videos that we made with our artists, and for free. So that is a good promotional tool, because it costs a lot of money to film a concert, to film a show, and a lot of artists, they don't have a lot of videos of their shows. And for the programmers, I think it's very meaningful to see it, and it can be even better for them than a clip, because it's real. That's what, if they program us, that's what they will have. So well, that's it. And also we could, for some bands, we wanted to remix the sound, and we could do this also, and then to put it back on the video the way we want it. So it's a great promotional tool for us afterwards. And yeah, and being part of the BEL JAZZ FEST, so you didn't have there a lot of bands, and so being among those bands, it was also for the artists very nice, because it meant that they were part of the highest quality of Belgian bands in jazz. So it's a label in a way for them. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. To end up with this session, let's try to have a look into the future, which is not easy these days. Does this cooperation have any consequences for the festival community in Belgium? Or also, what is your advice for other festivals? Because I suppose there are some of them listening and listening to you now. What would be your advice for other festivals and organizers who want to create something similar in their countries? Is there anything that will survive from this new format? What do you think? To all of you. Who wants to start?
Jazz.be is a platform. So it's the idea also to use it in the future for the jazz community in Belgium. So to bring all festivals together on that platform again, not only the festivals, also the venues who are in charge of jazz music, the musicians, everybody around jazz in Belgium. So this would be the hotspot of jazz in Belgium, that's for sure. That's for, now Jazz Middelheim is now just finished, I think this weekend. So in a few weeks time, maybe we have a new meeting again with all festivals to see what we can do, and also with FIBE and also with WBM. So we can continue to work together with all different festivals from the different regions also in Belgium. That's important, not only the Flemish part, but also the French part and the Brussels part. And I think also we came much closer to different, to all festivals, because I know Maarten very well. I know also Benny from Jazz Brugge very well, but We are mainly never in contact with the organizer in Tournai or in Jazz Alliage. So it was the first time we've met each other, even it was virtually. And that was, yeah, it could work in the future. You never know what comes next. So I'm very curious also about that. So maybe, yeah, we have started something which can continue in a beautiful way. And then technically, maybe that's a good advice. Also, it's because there was a lot of live videos and YouTube moves and Facebook lives with all different artists in their own living room. But this was this was a very big production, streaming wise and video captation. So if you do that, you have to have the best quality, so the best equipment to do it, because yeah, you asked also money to see the concerts, and we worked also as a real festival with 2 stages. You had the main stage and a smaller stage, so the viewers could switch when they want. Yeah, in the beginning it was a very good idea, but practically it was not that easy to work it like this. But we made it. So yeah, you have to prepare on everything on this one, because and in 2 weeks time. So we suffered sometimes, but okay.
Yeah, Maarten,
if we have more time, we yeah.
Just one question, Maarten. Now that you know how it works, so you're prepared for the future. Is this something that you would like to do again, or part of it?
Well, I think nothing beats live music, and I'm really hoping that we all can go back to the sort of the normality of pre-corona, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen very quickly. Because this was a very nice experience, and as Danny said, we really did it also with high-end equipment, because I mean, you really, if you do something virtually, then you really have to do it with high-end production means, because otherwise you don't do it. But still, it's I mean, maybe, I mean, we have to look how the future is evolving, because it's the uncertainty of our business has become so huge that it could be something that you could do as an extra to stream concerts. But I think the live experience can never be replaced, even not by a very good streamed concert. So it was a big success because we were still in this lockdown and there was nothing happening at all, and we did it really at the right moment. But I really hope that we're not obliged to do that again next year, because not that the collaboration between the festivals was not good, or it's the contrary. That was one of the good things, you know, because if you organize a festival, everybody's doing that in his own spot and not really talking too much to his colleagues. And now we really made something together, so that has strengthened the relationships. But I really hope that we don't have to do that every year, because like I said, nothing beats the live experience.
Okay, thank you, Paméla. Do you have any wishes in terms of future cooperations for your artist or yourself as an agent?
Linked with the BEL JAZZ FEST?
Yes.
So actually, I tend not to expect too much from one single event. So I have the feeling that as an agency of management and booking, everything is meaningful. So every video, every photo, every single we release, every concert we make, every press article we have, it's a build up. And so of course, this festival in the middle of nowhere, because nowhere was happening, it was very important, and it helped us to keep building the careers of our artists. But it's a very bad time to see any real outcome out of this, because as Maarten says, it's so uncertain and it's really hard to book anything abroad for now. So it's hard to really feel a direct outcome, but they will be. It's in the continuity. It takes years to get there. So, but thanks to the festival, we could keep on working and keep hope and see that our colleagues, the programmers, they are with us. We knew this already, but there it was obvious that they were there to support the scene, and as an agency and as artists, I think they were relieved to see that it's a teamwork all together, the programmers, the managers, the artists, and we need each other to keep the car, to keep the movement, to keep it, yeah. I don't know how to say it.
Okay, thank you. Now there is time for question and answers, and we have collected some questions for you. And there's a first question coming in. Can you tell us a little? I'm reading this question. Can you tell us a little more about the promo? Which promotional products did you use? How was your experience with social media promotion? What will you do different the next time? So is there anybody from your side willing to answer or able to answer to these questions concerning the campaign, marketing, PR campaign?
Yeah, as social, we used immediately Facebook and Instagram. Instagram, we made a lot of good images to spread out. I think we also bought some, we paid some ads also, but not that much, I guess. But it was a good, the visual was also very nice of BEL JAZZ FEST. We made very quickly a logo about this festival, because there wasn't a logo, there was even existing. So I think we made it in less than 1 week. And I think visually it was a very nice, yeah, a strong visual to spread out. And I think Instagram worked very well. We put also the videos with the different, the promotion videos with the artists like Lefto, Philippe Catherine, that we spread out also. I think the last week, each day, there was a different kind of artist presenting this festival, of promoting this festival. So each day was a different one. So the people they were always, they get some new, how do you say, new promotional input from different kind of people. So the mainstream newspapers and magazines, they were from the beginning, they were on this festival because everybody wrote about it. Sometimes it was an article very generally about the festival, especially in the French part. They were very curious about the collaboration between the French and the Flemish parts. So they were very curious about this one. And other newspapers and magazines, weekly magazines, they were more interesting in the bands sometimes. So so you have different kind of tools and promotion from different kind of magazines and media. So and then on the day itself, I know on Friday there was also the VRT, which is the Flemish national TV broadcasting. So they sent also in the news, I think late news, they put some excerpts from live video from an artist. So that also worked for the next day, of course. So, but it was put in place in very small, little time, in less than 1 week, I guess.
So little time, little money involved. I think, Maarten,
yes.
You would like to add something, right?
Yeah, because the main thing is that all the promo was online. So there was no offline promotion whatsoever. So no posters, no, I mean, there wasn't any booklets, or everything was done online. And because it was also an online festival, of course. And what also really helped was that every festival as such, everybody individually made a lot of promo for the festival. So if you count up the 11 festivals, which are all using their networks to get the word out, and it's all coming back to this just one platform, which was jazz.be, then that really worked very, very well. And that was really the power of because it was a low budget promo action, but because we were these 11 festivals activating their networks, that all of a sudden you have like a very big exponential result, in fact.
Okay, so I hope that the question was fully answered. There's another question to you. So I'm reading the question: were there any real-time collaborations between musicians in different locations? If so, how did you deal with latency issues?
No, not really, because everything was here, so done in the same venue. So it was not that like we have seen during the lockdown, that musicians played on different locations, but in the same video. That was not the case. So it were real-time concerts with the entire band on one stage. So it was not that they played at different locations at the same moment. So we didn't have any issues with that.
Okay, thank you, Maarten, for answering. I think we do not have any further questions. Then let me resume a little bit what you have presented. So thank you, first of all. That was really impressive and interesting. It was a special moment for the national jazz scene. You have mentioned this because the lineup there were only bands from Belgium, which, by the way, is not unusual in Belgium, as there is a national jazz meeting every 2 years. The next one is scheduled in February. So let's keep our fingers crossed that this meeting can happen face to face. If not, we think you will make it virtually. You're all prepared for that. So thank you for everything. For all our viewers joining our first virtual session, thank you for joining us and attending. Please stay online for a quick survey coming right after this session now. It will help us to develop our next sessions coming once a month now. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
So bye-bye.
Bye.
Stay in touch. And if we have more questions to you, we will forward them to you. And well, perhaps there are people who would like to connect with you directly. So then we will, if this is possible, we will send your contacts directly, if you agree. Okay. Perfect.